by manually inserting the values, like in this case. But it is very long, you know. If I had to define a vector from 0 to 100 step by one, you know, it's very long to write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So R, of course, includes functions that allow you to complete this task in a quicker way. And in this case, the function that I would use is called SEQ. And let me forget about the name vector1. Now I need to define x is equal to SEQ 0, 100. And that's it. And now what we can do is try to check x. You see that it was very quick. It is quicker than in Excel to define a vector from 0 to 100. Keep in mind that if the computer crashes at this point, nothing is saved, like in Excel. If you start working in Excel and you don't save the file, and the computer crashes, you lose everything. So I'm not now explaining to you because we don't have time how to save. Let's now conclude the exercise, but let's keep in mind as a priority that this is an open question. How to save. Okay, perfect. And now we need to compute the y. Let me clear the screen and let me just write y is equal to a times x plus b. That's it. And if I check with y, I get, of course, what I'm expecting. A vector that is a clone of x, just because I put a equal 1 and b equal 0. And now I got x and y. The only missing task is the graph. And now we open here a huge topic, because graphs in R, it's a huge topic. And the reason why it's huge is that R allows you to draw very complicated graphs. So our target now is to draw a graph in 1 minute, and therefore I take the shortest way. But I just would like to tell you that this is a huge topic that we cannot explore completely. So let's write very quickly this instruction, plot. Plot is the function that in R allows you to draw graphs. There are several functions, several possible functions. Plot is by far the most frequently used. And then we can just write plot xy. And let's see what happens. And you see that a new window was opened. By default, where you can see the straight line, but it's not a line, it's a series of points. And you see that by default, titles were put for the axes, x and y. Plot is done. And of course, now we need to learn the options. The function doesn't only accept arguments. In this case, the argument of the function plot is 2 vectors, x and y. And then there are options. And there must be an option that allows me to draw a line instead of points. And the option in this case is I go back to the command line, I get back to the previous instruction, is type equal between commas L. I write this and I go back to the graph, you see that I finally got the line. Now, in 3 minutes, let's learn how to save and let's learn how to get help directly from R without looking at the tutorial. So first of all, let's save. There are several different options to save. The option that I use is to simply close the program. And if I close the program with the function Q, don't close it by clicking on the cross, because if you click on the cross, you lose everything. But if you write Q, open and close parentheses, which means quit, and you press enter, you see that the software asks you if you want to save the workspace image. I say yes, and then it closes. I am back to my command line. If I reopen it, automatically, he loads the previous data, and there is written here, you see the last line, in English is I loaded the previous workspace. And in fact, if I clear the screen, and I go back with the arrow up, I have all the previous instructions. And if I look at the variables, or if I draw the plot, I get it back. And also, if you look at the variables with the instruction list, ls, open close parentheses, you see the list of the variables that were memorized, everything is there. So this is the option that I use to save. I go out and come back. But there is an instruction to be given to the command line to save, to get the same result. I don't remember what it is. I don't remember if it is save image. I think it is save that image, or open and close parentheses, or save image without that. Try to check it, look on Google. Sorry, I don't remember now. Finally, let's suppose that you want to know more about the plot function. You have two possibilities. Either you go to Google and you Google RProject plot and you get plenty of information. But if you want a quicker solution, the quicker solution can be help plot. Let me go out from here. Quicker again, quicker and quicker, question mark, plot. Again, question mark, plot, without any parentheses. If I well remember, if you put two questions mark, you get, a more detailed help. But let's forget about it. And let me go back to question mark plot. You see here, first of all, there is a description of what the function does, and then there is a description of the usage. You see that there is the usage is plot xy, comma, additional parameters, additional options. One additional option that we already learned to use is type. The presence of xy plus these dots means that x and y are required. The dots are additional options for which default values are given. So, when the arguments are given explicitly, xy, it means that they are necessary to be given by you. When the options or arguments are listed with dots, it means that there are additional arguments for options for which defaults are used if you don't give them. And then, if you scroll down, you have a description of the arguments and the options. Here, the format is a bit, you know, it's mixed up because I increased the font size, but in your PC you should be able to read in an easier way. Still, you know, to go through this help, it's not easy because you will see that the plot function allows you to specify a huge number of options. Okay, now next week. I will teach with frontal lecture theory both Monday and Tuesday in order to provide you with some basic information to be able a week later to perform with our first exercise. So in meanwhile, so we will have a break of 2 weeks in terms of our exercises. Meanwhile, try to get used to R by reading the tutorial and try to make some exercise. See you on Monday. I already uploaded yesterday's video and I will also upload this one, okay?